Okay, so this is kind of an expansion on asking the next question, why? It depends, right? So I have lower back pain. What should I do? It depends. I have problems getting healthier or more fit. What should I do? It depends. So this is going to give you kind of a little bit of structure on that. It depends. So, for example, when you have low back pain, here's two things that you can do to maybe start to figure out what's going on with your low back pain or why, if you don't know why you're having it. So two things you can do right now is increase the mobility in your thoracic spine and increase the mobility of your hips. And sometimes that will be the thing that we need to do to get rid of lower back pain. Because these two things play very well with the lower back. But if they don't play well, right? If those things don't play well, if this doesn't play well, if this doesn't play well, right? The lower back is going to have to do more than it should be doing. So here are the things. Get good mobility in the thoracic spine. So that's not the lower back. That's kind of, up above the lower back where it actually, the spine becomes pretty mobile. So what we want to do is make sure that thoracic spine has good rotation up top, right? We want to make sure it has good flexion on either side. We want to make sure it has flexion and extension, right, on both sides, right? And we also want to make sure the shoulders play well with the thoracic spine, because if they're gunked up, then the thoracic spine can't do as good a job as it should be doing to help the lower back, right? So we're going to get a couple type 1 motions, right? Type 2 motions, right? And just kind of understand that more movement up top is going to free up that lower lumbar, that lower back issue, and we're going to create that motion coming from the top, right? But you also have to understand that the bottom or the hips play a big role as well. So can I internally and externally rotate, right, that femur through the hip, right? Can I do the same thing on the other side? Can I internally rotate? Can I externally rotate, right? Not coming and twisting through that lower back, but through the hip, right? Can I go across? Can I come out? All right. Can I get into flexion and extension of the hips, right? Do my hips have adduction and abduction, right? Can I get away from the body? Can I get into the body with the hips? So working in a 3-dimensional capacity, do my glutes actually go in to tensioning and out of tensioning on both sides, right? When I start to use the hips, when I start to use the thoracic spine, all of a sudden that lower back is a little bit less stressed. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I actually feel a little bit better. So get mobility into the hips, right? Do things like pigeons, do things like lateral lunges, right? For mobility, do things like internal and external rotation of those hip joints, right? Same thing up top, lateral flexion, rotation, right? Rotation, right? Rotation, and see if that helps you. That's not going to solve all your problems. It's not going to give you a solution to why it's been happening, but they should help you dissipate a little bit of that pain and start to give you a little bit more freedom of movement back.